Welcome to this week's live stream, and just getting everything set up here. Let me get my chat popped out, if it will cooperate. Pop out chat. There we go. Move that here. And let's see. All right, wait for some people to filter in. Wait for them to filter in. So, on this week's live stream, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I went through a bunch of comments from past videos and decided I would pull some questions out of there and answer those right here on the live stream. And then for the questions that I've pulled, not only will they get a shout out basically here by me reading their questions, but also link in the description the channels that ask questions and then the videos that they ask the questions on. So if you guys are having questions on videos, feel free to leave comments. I do read those and I answer them in the comments usually when I remember to go look. It takes me a couple days every once in a while, but yeah, I'll definitely try to get some of those up here on the live stream as well. All right. So I got here my list of questions right here, and I will jump into those. And I'll start with the oldest questions first. And what I'll also do is I'll play little clips of the videos that the questions are being asked about too. And these videos will all be in the description down at the bottom. So let's switch over to this one. I'm over this camera here. And the first question is from Wapiti Man. And if you guys haven't checked out Wapiti Man's channel, he's got some really cool content. He is up in northern British Columbia and does some really cool videos. And the guy lives like right on this big lake. He just walks out there with his took. And Hiker G16, hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining me. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Wapiti Man's stuff, definitely go check that out. So his question was on my video from the Worthington State Forest. And let's see, that video is right here. And his question was about, let me get to a spot here where you can see where he's talking about. So right here, Wapiti asked, have you ever done any paddling on Sunfish Lake or Sunfish Pond here? And forests and streams, what's going on, man? So he asked if I've ever paddled up here. This is like 1.5 miles from the closest parking lot, and most of it is straight uphill on the Appalachian Trail for most of it. And if you've ever hiked the Appalachian Trail in Pennsylvania, you know that it's pretty rocky. This is on the New Jersey side, but it's just as rocky over there. So I don't think they really want you kayaking up there. If you were able to get a boat up there, they probably wouldn't stop you. But no, I've never paddled up there, and I don't have any desire to lug my kayak up that far into the woods. It is a beautiful area, though, and if you're ever up this way and you are looking for a cool place to hike, I definitely suggest checking this out. There is, let me find it here, scrub through, you've got views like this, and this is, well, no, that's just looking at the trees. There we go. You got views like this, and that's the Pennsylvania side over there. This is Mount Mincy, and I've hiked there too and looked back the other way. Beautiful, beautiful area. Adam Z, what's going on, man? Hey, thanks for joining me. So yeah, that was Wapiti's question on this video. Next up, a question from, now this one I'm going to murder because this is asked by Jose Garcia, and every comment he's left has been in Spanish, and I can't read Spanish, so I use Google Translate, and it does a horrible job. So I'm going to read the entire comment. But this is from a video, Hammock in the Cold at Promised Land State Park. DragonsTrails, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining me. So this is what Google says this question was. Very good places Copy the floating carp system between trees. It is magnificent and very comfortable. How many days do you make the exits? What I think he was actually asking and Google just missed was that he also uses the hammock system. It's very comfortable, which it is. If you never hammock camped, definitely try it. And how many days do I get out to do this? In winter, it's usually overnights because it's just the weather's too unpredictable to accurately go out and do this for a couple days, especially this year. You get 60 degrees one day and -3 the next, so you never really know what you're going to get. But when I can, I'd like to stay out for a whole week. It's just relaxing for me and something I love to do, whether it's car camping or backpacking. So thank you, Jose, for that question. Next up, on a video, on my 2017 video, which was just like 10, actually 11 of my favorite moments from 2017, because I go out and do so much every year that it's hard to just kind of do a recap on everything, so I selected some of my favorite times. This came from the Urban Viking, and his question was, any White Mountain plans? Franconia Ridge is epic. And I always have plans for the White Mountains. I just, always want to go there, but never have had the time to get there. Hello, Shelly. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. This is the second time actually somebody had brought up Franconia Ridge, and if I could get up there to do that, I would love to. When I was in Maine in 2015, I ran into a couple who were hiking up in Acadia, and they had mentioned Franconia Ridge. So definitely the White Mountains somewhere I really want to get to, and just a matter of making the plans. It's not something I want to rush into. I want to know where I'm going and get up there and do it right. So that was the Urban Vikings question. Next up, from my Coffee in the Conversation video, get to it right here. Rob Adventures had asked, is this my backyard? I wish this was my backyard. This video was shot at Prompton State Park, which is nearby. And just, it's a great little park, with the kayaking, the lake, people ice fish. There's all kinds of trails up here. But this particular day with the snow was incredible. This is all I recorded this day because I packed my gimbal, but I forgot to put the GoPro in it. This was the day after I got the email from YouTube, and I was just kind of, I didn't really, I wasn't real excited to go out and film. But if that was my backyard, I would never leave my house, pretty much. So, okay, over in chat here, Adam Z, have you ever considered the Green Mountain in Vermont? Green Mountains, actually have been there a couple times, not for as long as I'd like. Been there three times now. 3 times I've been up there. Definitely want to get back up there and actually do some hiking and like spend some actual time up there. But been to the southern end, down near Bennington, Vermont, 3 times. Beautiful up there. Beautiful, beautiful area. Did that in 2015, 2014, 2015, and 2016. I didn't make it up there last year. A beautiful spot. All right, so that was that question there. So moving on to the fourth one I got. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, number 5. So these are 2 questions from DragonsTrails, who is in the chat here. So, all right, the first one was on my solo Christmas Eve backpacking, which is, these are not in the order, there we go. Solo Christmas Eve backpacking. First question was, about the lantern. So there's a lantern in the video, and it's not really easy to see in there, but it's this one right here, that I got from my Cairn package. So DragonsTrails asked, how did it perform for me? This actually worked really well. This is inflatable. If you guys aren't familiar with these, it's made by Luminade. Get that in there. It's called the Packlight Max. And they have it listed as a phone charger, but it's a lantern. It does have a charger port in there. But it worked really well. It didn't give me any problems during that trip. And I tested it. I actually worked on a video for this, and I didn't like the way it turned out, so I never put it up. I have to redo it. But I've run that for like 4+ hours on high while charging a GoPro and a phone, and it held up. So unfortunately, I can't speak to how well it charges because you need like 13 to 16 hours of direct sunlight to do that. And as many of you may know, if you're from the Northeast, you don't get that in the winter. So haven't had a chance to really mess with that. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty light. It's very bright, and it's a good addition to have. I don't really carry a light with me much when I'm backpacking. Usually if I have a headlamp and a fire, I'm pretty good. But definitely worth having if you're gonna be out for a few days, even if you're just using it as a charger, as a solar powered charger for smaller devices, that would work good. Let me go back to the chat here real quick, seeing a few things pop up. Hikergy High Peaks Wilderness during the winter is worth a visit too. I've been to the base of the High Peaks at Lake Saranac a couple years ago. I actually went up there with the Forest and Streams. We went there and did a kayak camp. That was really cool. We didn't make it to the up into the High Peaks though, because weather. It was early June, I think, and the weather just was all over the place. So we never made it up to High Peaks. And I think one of us was slightly injured, so we weren't really into doing too much hiking. We hiked by Baker Mountain. That was it. But High Peaks look awesome, although it's extremely cold up there. Yeah, during the busy months, Hiker G says during the busy months it can be a bit crowded, which every place is. Yeah, and then Forest and Stream says the island camping in the Adirondacks, which, yeah, that was fun. Definitely want to go back and do that. DB Cooper 581. Hey, thanks for joining us. A Lucci lantern. You say you use a Lucci lantern, which is very similar. Don't leave home without it. Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of these. This wasn't something I was in the market for, but I got it in the Cairn package. And if you guys haven't heard of Cairn, I'll show you the logo on the back. It's like a monthly subscription package, and you get some pretty cool stuff. Some months you get a lot of cool stuff. Some months, it's hit or miss, but it's pretty cool either way. So let's move on to the next question here. And this one also is from DragonsTrails. And this was from my Keller Swamp overnight, which is right here. And his question was, oh no, it wasn't even about this one. It was about the pack, when I packed everything up. So this one here. I got a couple questions on this video. So DragonsTrails also asked, he says, I like the idea of the 2-in-1 axe saw combo. How has it performed for you? If you've watched recent videos, you'll know that I got a Silky Gomboy, so that should tell you about the saw portion. But I have it right here, and this is the axe in question. It is, actually, let me switch over to this one. It's got a better view. This is just your standard Gerber axe, and it has it's called the Gator 2 combo, and it has this little saw that packs into the handle, and that's like a 6-inch blade and little tiny handle. It's great for small things. If you're doing like thumb-sized branches, it works pretty good. If you're trying to cut a tree down with it, don't even bother. You won't need a fire after trying to cut down a tree with the saw. The axe is awesome. That holds a really good edge. It's super sharp. It's not the lightest thing in the world, but it gets the job done. And for the money, you cannot beat that axe. Really happy with that. And yeah. So yeah, the saw, not so much. Good for if you really need, over here, if you really need a saw to cut something small, but for bigger jobs, no, Silky Gomboy is the way to go, or pretty much any Silky saw. I talked a little bit about Wapiti Man before. If you check out his videos, he has the Silky Katana Boy, the big Silky, and he cut through a tree with that in like 3 strokes. The thing is insane. Yeah, just insane. Also on this video, Eric, he just goes by Eric. He has no content on his channel, but he asked, ever looking to getting a Philb pack? And for food, ever think of cold weather MREs. A filled pack is like a army rucksack, and not something that I've ever really thought about getting. I like a bigger pack, something I can enclose everything in, and never. My nephew hiked with a ruck pack when we were up in the Catskills back in April, and he just had stuff hanging out all over the place. It was getting snagged and stuff like that. I'd rather the bigger pack and just have everything enclosed. Super rugged. Not not a knock on the quality of the product, but just the layout of it for me doesn't really work. The second part of that, the cold weather armor MREs. I'd never looked into cold weather MREs. I can't even say that, but I have used MREs before. I know some people who are in the military, family, and some friends, and every once in a while they'll be like, "Hey, you got some MREs? You want them?" I've got a couple packs down in my kitchen that I haven't taken anywhere. Some of them are really good, and they basically give you a full day's worth of like a lunch and a dinner, snacks, drinks, things like that. Way more calories than you could ever need. They're okay to eat. I mean, in a pinch, they do great. The brisket I had was awesome, but I was starving too. So, yeah, MREs I will use. Generally, though, I like to make my own food, dehydrate it, and pack it away with me. All right. So let's go back to chat here, see if I can catch up. High peaks, okay. DragonsTrails, yeah, I only tested around the house. And, pronounced Lucy, sorry, DB Cooper 581. What, how did I say it? I know I probably destroyed that too. But yeah, it's pronounced Lucy. Oh, yeah, okay, well, if I would have read it right, sorry about that. Okay, next up, question from S. Erie on my video from overnight backpacking in Choke Creek, which is right here. And the question was, what was your impression of the Esbit stove? Now, right before this video, I'd done an unboxing of the Esbit pocket stove, which is new to me. It's not a new, I forgot I had those on. It's not a new product by any stretch of the imagination, but it was new to me. So yeah, I had it out for that trip. That was the first trip I really used on. This one is playing right now, and it worked really well in this situation. And it was probably in the high 20s. Last weekend, though, I was hiking over at, hey, Em and the gang, thanks for joining. I've been seeing you in other live streams with other people. Thanks for stopping by and checking out. Awesome, thanks. So last weekend we were hiking out at the Pinchot Creek, nearby where I did the Painter Creek hike, a longer loop, and just went out to hike, didn't record anything, just enjoying the hike. It got down to like a wind chill of -3 or -2 or -3, something like that. And yeah, it didn't do so good in those temperatures. It was windy and cold, and it had a hard time boiling a cup of water. And I didn't make any kind of a wind guard for it. So it wasn't really great. Rocket Outdoors, what's going on, man? We're just talking about your neck of the woods up in the White Mountains. So yeah, my impressions of the Esbit stove are the thing's awesome. For as small as it is and as easy it is to maintain, aside from a little bit of fishy smell from the fuel, the thing's awesome. With the fuel, or with the wind guard or something like that, it might actually surprise me in colder weather. But yeah, it didn't do so good in the -3. But overall, super impressed with it. Like it a lot. All right, and then the last two questions are both from BeerBelliedTravelers, and I got all. Whoa, what's going on here? First one was on the Silky Gomboy, and this one isn't hiking related, but I'm more than happy to answer it, whether it's hiking related or not. And it was about BeerBelliedTravelers ask, do the sound foam squares work? And you can see here, I got the sound foam squares, and you can see behind me, I think, like right out here, I got some foam squares in here too. In this room, there's no echo whatsoever. There would be. It's all hardwood floors in this house, and down in the dining room where this was filmed, it's all hardwood floors. in that setup right there, it helps a little bit, but it's not really set up for what I'm filming there. I usually have that table pushed up against that wall, and I have a small microphone guard that goes around another microphone. So if I'm doing a kind of voiceover, it helps block any kind of echoes in there. But yeah, they do work. They work great, and they're relatively cheap. This room has got way too many. Way too many. They're just everywhere. You don't need as many as I've got here. I went overboard. But yeah, they work a lot. So if you guys are doing any kind of voiceover on your videos or anything like that, and you're getting echo, you put these kind of box off your corners with them. I don't even really have these ones separate in this video. But just anywhere where you're getting echo from, and it helps a lot. It makes gets all the echo out of your audio. And then BeerBelliedTravelers also asked on my Painter Creek video, and on this one here, about they asked, is that a folding backpacking chair you were perched on? And you can see it right here. Yes, that is. That is. I've got it right here. Sunyear is the manufacturer, and it's just, there's like 80 different manufacturers that make these things. It's a little bit of a weight penalty when you're backpacking, but if it's going to be wet and you know there's not going to be anywhere to sit, they're definitely worth having. So, Wood Pigeon Outdoors, what's going on? Thanks for joining. And so that was basically all the questions that I pulled from the comments sections. So if you guys have questions and videos, feel free to ask. I do answer them in. There we go. I do answer them in the comments section, but also I'll start answering them in either on a recorded video or live. And then I'll give you guys, the shout outs when I'm asking the questions, and I'll put the links down in the description. So everybody who asks a question in your channel is linked down in the description, and the videos that I talked about there. Also, there's for that Sunyear chair too, I put a link down there for kind of a setup video I did for it when I first got it. I took it to the Allegheny Reservoir. I did some camping out there, so I put both those videos in there. So if you're interested, go check those out. So all right, let me get back to let me pause this over here. I don't need that playing. And look at the comments here. Let's see. Adam Z. Have I ever considered an alcohol stove? No. Simple. No. My big concern with an alcohol stove is one of those, your alcohol opening up in your backpack and spilling. I'm sure there's bottles that doesn't happen in, but no, I've never considered using it. I've got my canister stove, which I'm really a canister stove guy. I've got my twig stove as my winter backup, and then I got that Esbit stove just kind of mess around with. Alcohol stove, no, never really thought about using one of those. Let's see. DB Cooper asks, so what kind of gimbal do I use? And I'm using, the quality is awesome. It looks like I'm floating. Thank you. I use, usually I'm using my GoPro Karma grip with my Hero 5 Black, but I do also have a, it's made by a company called Feiyutech, and I got it off of Amazon before the GoPro Karma came out, and I was using it with my Hero 4. It's called the G4, and it's really small, really light. It does a really good job. And in some of my older videos, you'll see I've got a shot from like over my shoulder, and that's what I'm using. I'm using that gimbal in my backpack behind me, and then I'll use another camera for a second shot. But that is great because it lasts forever. And it's got removable, rechargeable batteries. So I have like 4 sets of batteries, and nothing will last all day, and they charge up super fast. So yeah, those two, the Karma Grip and the G4. I think they make a G5 now, and they're actually really good. I was surprised how good that is. Wood Pigeon, how you doing? So Rocket saying that probably in a couple weeks you can go back and do your paranormal video. you don't want to scare people away too much. Though, you know what? That was an awesome video. I really liked those 2 videos. It was different, and it was pretty cool. You should do more of those. Wood Pigeon says it was Sasquatch. Let's see. Yeah, S area. I'm at 479. Getting close. When I hit, if you guys are new to the channel, first of all, thank you. I've gotten a bunch of subscriptions in the past week. A bunch of subscribers, so thank you to all you guys. And if you don't subscribe and you just watch the channel, thank you too. I mean, it's all good. The way the goalpost has been moved with YouTube, getting to where they want us to be for monetization, it'll happen when it happens, if it happens. But I'm doing this because I like doing it, and I like the community. I like doing these live videos. I like sitting in on other live videos. Rocket's got a live video. His is tomorrow at 8, I think. Right, Rocket? Tomorrow 8 o'clock. BeerBelliedTravelers, I was on theirs yesterday. Happy Trails Hiking, I was on theirs on Monday. Just kind of sitting in and watching and listening. And on those, and I apologize because I'll sit there and I will be on the I'll be on the live stream. I'll be watching. I talk more than I type. So somebody yesterday was like, "Hey, you're not saying much." I usually don't if I'm typing. So I got to get better at that. So I apologize. But yeah, so check out all these guys' live streams. So 471. So when I get to 500, I'm going to do a giveaway. It's not going to be anything major, but I'll be giving away a little something. So 500 subs and that'll happen. So yeah, I'm surprised I'm at 479. So I'm happy with that right now. Let's see. So yeah, Hiker G, the gimbals are nice, but they act up in the cold. And my Karma grip is, a lot of it I edit out, but occasionally I'll leave it in. And my gimbal has a personality, and I will get mad at it because it doesn't do what I want it to do. So when I'm hiking by myself, it's like my little hiking buddy. Let's see, go through some more of these. Wood Pigeon, gimbals help. They do and they don't. For the GoPro, the gimbal helps, keeps everything smooth, makes everything look nice and neat. And because, when you're hiking, I don't care how steady-handed you are, and I use a small camera, I use a GoPro. If you're using a DSLR, that bigger lens isn't as susceptible to the shake that you get when you're hiking and your heart's beating and you're out in the woods. And I don't care how steady-handed you are, you're gonna get a little shake off of a small lens camera. So it takes care of that. But on the Karma grip, at least, it destroys the audio. So there's zero audio out of that. It's just muffled and disgusting. So I have to use the Hero 5 in that gimbal. You can't use any kind of plug-in external microphone. So I use a lapel mic and I keep a little recorder in my pocket and then I marry it up in editing, which I really like that, but it's a little bit more work. But yeah, so it makes things easier, but makes things harder too. Wood Pigeon, you are an awesome channel. I'm not sure if you're talking to me or talking to somebody else. If you're talking to me, thank you. And if you're talking to somebody else, thank you too, because that's awesome. Everybody here that's got a channel, all these guys I subscribe to, all these guys that, not just guys and girls channels, everybody who's making this content, everybody's awesome. A bunch of awesome little channels, and excited to see everybody growing and moving forward together, which is great. Yeah, 7 p.m. Fridays, Rocket Outdoors does Frosty Fridays. You gonna have a tutu this week? Hiker G, we need a live stream board. That would be cool to do a live stream board. Here's another question. S. Erie had mentioned in a comment about Zoom, which is kind of like a video conferencing software. It would be kind of cool to do a live video with other channels, a live stream where there's a couple channels on there. And I want to look into it and see if it can be streamed to everybody's channels or if it would have to go to one channel or what. I think that'd be kind of cool, like a collaboration on a live stream. That'd be pretty neat. Wood pigeon. You use your cell phone for live streams. I did one from a live stream at a campsite when I was at Keller Swamp, and I had very little signal. And it works. It works pretty good, but you don't have the control. I see a lot of people just using the like the standard Hangouts. I'm using what's this program called? Open Broadcast Software, OBS. So I can do like switch between screens and stuff like that, because I tend to overdo things when it comes to these. But yeah, the phone works well, but I could never find a really good way of doing commenting on that without needing two phones. Hiker G, get better. Your content is great. Just need more. I'd love to do more. I just got to get out and do it. The weather right now is just kind of killing me. And then this is here's an embarrassing thing that happened to me the other day. I almost fell down my steps. I was walking down my stairs, and there's like these kind of carpeted pads on the steps, and I wasn't paying attention, and I slid down one step, and I kind of tweaked my back a little bit. So I've been kind of indoors this week. So for Wood Pigeon, on your cell phone, do you have like Steadicam on there, or like a stabilizer or anything like that? You're not using the gimbal, but does it have like optical or digital stabilization? My phone does. I have a Pixel XL, and it's got stabilization on it. But I noticed that when it gets cold, or if you're not pointing at like a person, like if I'm just out in the woods, it looks like the camera's doing this, like it doesn't know what to focus on, and then it just edits weird. So I try not to use my phone. I used it in my last video when I was out at Painter Creek, and some of the cut shots I did with the phone. I'm really upset I did that because it turned out horrible. Not the video, but those cut shots, you can just see the difference. Wood Pigeon, thanks for stopping by, man. You got to go. Fit Chick, how you doing? I will be on your and Rockets live stream tomorrow. I can't promise I'll talk much. Like I said before, I talk more than I text or than I type. So, but I will be there. We're gonna get snowed in anyway, so I won't be out hiking or camping tomorrow. A lot of talk about gimbals. Yeah, M and the Gang, OBS. M and the Gang says just got OBS, but haven't messed with it much. It's actually pretty simple. I have it set up on like 3 computers, just in case. I've got too much stuff. I've got my Windows computer, which is like a desktop here, and this has got I got 2 monitors set up, and then I've got my laptop, which I do most of my editing on, and then Hike with Mike. How you doing? BeerBelliedTravelers. They're in. You guys were mentioned a couple times now. I did a Q&A from comments on videos I answered. So you guys got a link down in the descriptions for the questions. So thank you. Yeah, but OBS, it works on Linux, Macs, and Windows, right? Yeah, so it works on all 3. And it's pretty simple. If you just got to get the key from the YouTube Live, and I noticed there is more of a lag than if you're using Hangouts, which when you're doing the live stream, it doesn't really matter. But as far as comments go, you guys are seeing what I'm saying almost a minute later after I say it. So there is a little bit of lag there, but it's pretty easy to use. If you got any questions, shoot me a message. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Hey, don't worry about it, BeerBelliedTravelers. I'm glad you guys are here. Late is a funny term, especially, I mean, it's live, but you could watch it later. So I think that catches me up on everybody here. So cool. All right. Yeah. So if you guys are just getting here, I did the Q&A in the beginning. Bunch of throwing stuff. Bunch of questions that were asked. So for the people who asked questions, I linked your channels in the description as a thank you. You guys got a shout out in the video as a thank you, and then the videos that you asked about, I'd link down there too, so if people want to watch those. I'm gonna try to do that from now on. So if you guys have questions in videos, feel free to ask, and I'll answer them in the comments, as I always try to do. I am way behind on my YouTube stuff though. There's so many new subscribers and channels I'm trying to watch and get into and follow back and all that, and I'm lagging behind on everybody. So if you got new content out there and I haven't watched it yet, I'm just trying to get to it. And then I usually do my comments all at once, 1 point a day. So yeah, I go through. I'll keep track of all of them, and I will be answering those in the comments, and then either in the answer video or probably live, because it's kind of fun doing it live, especially when the people are asking the questions are in the live chat. All right, so who else we got here? Yeah. Oh, thanks. I see her like, yeah. You know what? When I was watching you guys yesterday, and you had you guys had Yankee Outdoors on there, and he does that. He does a lot to help people out, a lot of channels out, and which is awesome. And I try to do when I'm doing the live stream stuff like that. I'm trying to give out the shout outs to other channels, because we do got to stick together as small channels. So yeah, I don't mind you guys. If anybody on here has a live stream they want to pitch, do it. I got no problem with that. There was YouTube had this YouTube community. I think I talked about this last week. The YouTube creator community, and I said if you hadn't gotten into that, then you should look into it. Don't bother. They're shutting that down too. But that was like this whole group of YouTube creators, and they wouldn't let you promote anything. So it was kind of like how you supposed to grow if they're not letting you do it. So if we all stick together, and like I said, I don't mind giving shout outs, promoting links, any of that, because we all got to stick together. So Forest and Streams, when is the next solo trip? Maybe this weekend or maybe Monday. I don't know. I got to look at the weather. I was working on something this week that I want to go out and test. And I'm kind of itching to go out and do it. Oh, apparently there's no weather in my town right now. Okay, well, I'm not going to check the weather because the weather app is failing. So maybe Friday night, or not Friday night, Saturday night and a Sunday, or maybe Monday and a Tuesday. Have not decided, but it won't be anything major. It might be back out to Keller Swamp, or maybe I'll go out to Delaware State Forest, or I might wind up going to the Catskills. Forest and Streams, you know how that goes with me. Sometimes I just go places. All right. So for those of you who don't know, the Forest and Streams is my buddy Rocco, and you've probably seen him in some videos trying to duck out of the way of the camera. That's him. You should definitely check out his videos. He doesn't put out a lot, and he should put out more. Put out more videos and get more social. Big jerk. No. Definitely check out his channel. Hike with Mike. I would rather catch up on YouTube videos than watch TV. Haven't watched TV much at all the past few years. Yeah, I absolutely agree. My TV, I've got a Nexus player, like a Android TV device, and that's what comes on, and then it's either I'm watching YouTube or I'm watching Netflix or something like that. I don't watch a lot of cable. I worked in the cable industry for almost 18 years, and I don't need to be involved in it anymore. Let's see. DragonsTrails is not always easy catching videos when they're fresh out. Life apps. Yeah, it does. And the weird thing is YouTube isn't real great at notifying of when videos come out. So I try to check the subscriptions page as much as possible and see who's got new stuff out. The Gang. Yankee is awesome. Yeah, I just subscribed to him. I haven't had a chance to go there and really check out his videos, but I want to check out what he does. I hear a lot of good things about his channel, so definitely want to check out everything he's got there, but I did subscribe. BeerBelliedTravelers, I should do a meet and greet. I've heard people talk about that. I got to look into what that is, and maybe I will. Yeah, maybe I will. Okay. The Gang. Okay, I'll bite. I'm doing first ever live stream. Hope it works. 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Oh, okay. So right when I get done here, so a little later on, I'll I'll be there. 9 p.m. tonight. So anybody who's on this live stream, if you're not doing anything at 9 o'clock, head over to M and the Gang and see what they do for a live stream. See, BeerBelliedTravelers adores your content for us in streams. Do more. Let's see. All right. M and the Gang going to be great. Drink a strong beer and you'll be great. Do I have the only live stream where I don't get drunk? Everybody else is drinking in theirs. All I'm drinking is water. Let's see, Hike with Mike. I was big time camera shy when I first started YouTube, so Rocco will come around when he's more comfortable. Yeah, if you go back and look at my older videos, I was never, I never talked to the camera. I might have been in frame, but I very rarely talked to the camera. That's kind of in the last year or so, I just started kind of talking to the camera, and it changed the way the videos go. And of course now I make like 30, 40 minute, hour-long videos. Here's a question for you: what do you guys think of the longer format videos? Because I do tend to, I've broken a couple up into two-parters, and they're like where the video would have been like an hour and a half. I'm really nervous about putting out an hour and a half long video. I'm not Joe Rogan. I can't do that. I don't think people will watch. So I try to break them up, but it's hard to do a hiking video or even a backpacking video and keep it short. BeerBelliedTravelers, we did one on Yank's channel. It's fantastic. Growing opportunity networking. That's the meet and greet. I definitely could check that out. Hiker G says, Hike with Mike, I'm still camera shy. Hiker G, I got to check out one of your videos so far. We did a collab down at Dolly Sods. I checked that out. It was somewhere where I definitely want to go. Dolly Sods looks awesome. I definitely want to see more just by looking at your thumbnails. You've gone some really cool places. BeerBelliedTravelers did get drunk. Let's see. That series says I have summer weather Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yes, butt deep in snow. Yeah, I don't care about snow. Snow I like. I like camping in snow. I think I said that in the last video. Just being out in the snow, maybe stems from being a kid and growing up out in the country where, snow was just like another thing that happened. But camping in the snow, waking up, after it snowed, sleeping in a snowstorm, just awesome. I love that stuff. Beer Belly says, I'm shocked. You're so great on camera. Yeah, I hate how I come across on camera. I watch the videos and I hate it. But I guess everybody's their own worst critic when they're doing stuff like that. I was in management for a while with the last company I worked for, where I had no choice but to be vocal and be in front of large groups of people, and that really helped. Now it's just kind of used to it. And it doesn't hurt that I tend to talk to myself anyway, so just having a camera there makes it look more normal, I guess. Adam Z likes the longer videos. Yeah, I would love to do like an hour-long, 2-hour-long video, but how many people have time to watch that? That's why it's hiking and breaking them up. M the Gang does not drink beer. I drink beer. I just never have any in the house. But yeah. Rocket, Kurt, what other hobbies do you have that we don't see you do on YouTube? Good question. Well, kind of see on videos music. We talked about this last time. I was in the band, definitely, I'm kind of getting more into, I pick up my guitar more often now and I play. I might actually do some music and do it Creative Commons, put it on my website for video use. So if I do that, I'll let you guys know. And if you want to use it in your videos, feel free. I mean, it's another thing just to kind of give back. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I keep saying I'm going to, but I haven't yet. So music is one thing. Pretty much hobby-wise is all outdoor stuff. Computer stuff. And then my little burgeoning hammock business I'm trying to start here. Yeah, I mean, pretty much it's either computer related, technology related, which I used to do a channel on that for gear, like tech reviews and stuff like that, which I don't do anymore. So it's pretty much all been on YouTube. I'm kind of boring actually when it comes to that kind of stuff. Hobby wise, hiking, being outside. I'm sure there's other things though, and if I think of them, I'll let you know. Beer Belly typos suck right now. Oh, you didn't get drunk. Are you drunk now? Adam Z, I like the longer relaxed videos, but I found out my channel, I don't get many views on the longer ones. The short, sweet ones get the views. Yeah, and that's why I try to do some like gear review videos and stuff like that to do shorter content that people, bring people in and they'll watch, and then still do. I don't really want to change the way I'm doing the longer videos because I kind of got used to doing them that way. I say honestly, kind of tough luck for people. If you'd rather watch short little itsy bitsy dramatic compressed little videos, then you're probably not really the hiking outdoors kind of person anyway. I don't know, that's just my point of view. Yeah, hike with Mike. In my experience, people not have long attention spans. Long formats are too much for most people. Better to break it up. Yeah, unfortunately, that is true. Attention span, even my own attention span is pretty short sometimes. BeerBelliedTravelers, love the longer format once in a while. Sometimes it's nice to get a feel like the viewer can be out there with you. Yeah, I'm messing with different formats for it in my head. Maybe cutting back on the amount of, if I'm doing a backpacking trip, cutting back on the amount of like hiking time and spend more time in camp. I don't know. Trying different things. Gonna try different things. It's all learning experience. Hiker G says, Kurt, I'm sure I'd watch a longer video if you post it, but I think it's more exciting to split them up. It makes the viewers excited to see what's next. Yeah, that's why I've been doing like the 2-day videos in 2 different parts, but even those sometimes get long. That's why I kind of think about maybe cutting back on the hiking part, where I'm talking as I'm hiking, and just save that stuff for camp. I don't know. I'll figure out something. All right, Rocket. Most of the videos are too long, but I can't make them short. Yeah, you know what though? But you do some awesome cooking. That salmon video you just did. I don't eat fish or asparagus, and that looked awesome. I would have ate that. That looked really good. My Own Frontier is amazing. Hiker G says to DragonsTrails. I've heard of. I don't know if I'm subscribed to them. I know I've watched their videos. Yeah, they do really nice long backpacking videos. So Beer Belly, the longest one you've done is 23 minutes. Man, that's a baby video. Look at the times on mine. Mine are ridiculously long. I got to shorten those things. I think for special content or occasions it's fine, but generally for watch retention, 10 minutes or less is a honey spot. When I had my old gear review channel, I kept a real close eye on the analytics. And I noticed that if I went over about 2 minutes and 30 seconds for a review video, I would lose people like crazy. So I actually had a series that I called Gear in 120 seconds, or Apps in 120 seconds, I called it. And I was kind of wanted to do that on this channel, but do like Gear in 120 seconds, which is just 2-minute videos. They'd be heavily edited to cut down to fit into that spot. But that's, if you watch the analytics on your stuff, you can learn a lot. I just tend to ignore it. Hike with Mike asks, what type of band? I was in an 80s hair band. Lots of people are shocked by that. Yeah, I was in grunge bands pretty much. The first band I was in, it was like three of us at first and 4 of us. And it was kind of like a grunge kind of grunge folk classic rock mix. It was a weird, interesting mix of music. So that was kind of how that went. I did some stuff just on my own, just recorded some things, and kind of fancied myself a musician for a while. And that was kind of like acoustic stuff. And when I was in Florida, I kind of hooked up with a band that did like reggae surf music, but with like a Led Zeppelin twist to it. It was weird, just weird, like stuff you can't really define, and just do it more for fun. It's just music is a fun thing for me. Beer Belly Travelers, not drunk, just drinking water currently, having a bonfire later. Yeah, you know, like I said, my yard is literally smaller than this room. I can't have a bonfire. That's why I camp so much. The YouTube band is coming together, Rocket. Who was it last week? Was it Happy Trails that said we should call ourselves the Backpack Banditos? I like it. Mike says, ha 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 ha. Even though I was a headbanger, I probably feel most comfortable in the middle of 70s vibe these days. Beer Belly is good to play around with that. Editing tricks can help a ton. I like splitting up vlogs, especially with travel. Easier on all of us to pack in the filming and get multiple vids out of it. Yeah, you know, the backpack, the Painter trip, the Painter Creek trip I just did. That was 2 weeks ago. And I took a break this past week and weekend from recording anything, just to give myself a little bit of a break. Like I said, went hiking back in that same area with forests and streams. And it was super cold, but it was nice just to get out and enjoy the hike and not worry about taking camera gear with me or recording or think about what to say, and kind of like recharging a little bit. But having that part two kind of in the pipeline there, ready to go out, it allowed me to do that and not miss putting something out for the week. So yeah, I agree. It does help. I hate changing just to change, but I guess sometimes that's what you gotta do. Yeah, Beer Belly Travelers, if you haven't watched Rocket's video on the salmon and asparagus, you gotta watch. That is an awesome setup you got, Rocket. That you use an alcohol stove to smoke food out in the woods. That is really, really cool. Rocket just loves food. What can I say? Food is good, and I eat dehydrated stuff, and I see you guys out there cooking stuff that looks like you could have your own restaurant, and I kick myself. Yeah, so Beer Belly says, gotta be a balance. You never want the numbers to change your creativity. Everybody wants something different out of their channels, which I agree, and that's why I don't want to make huge changes to anything. But if you go back and you watch older videos of mine, you like sample a couple through from when I started to now, and the way they've changed, and I'm always trying to find different camera angles or different ways of filming stuff and all that. And actually, I have a DSLR, and I was actually messing around with it this week since I really wasn't doing anything. I've got a Rode microphone with the dead cat and all that. The problem with that is it's not a small, it's DSLR. It's not a huge one, but it's heavy, and it doesn't autofocus, so it's going to be a lot of manual work to it. But I may start messing around with that when the weather's a little nicer, because it's not weatherproof, and maybe start trying some different cinematography techniques when I'm out there doing that. So that may be. Maybe. Rocket asks if I'm a bass player. Actually, yeah, that's what I started out on. I started out on bass. Well, actually, technically, I started out with a piano because I had a piano at my house. But yeah, I got. Actually, I have a. Where do I have it? Hold on one second. I'll grab it. All right, let me get my screen back up here. All right, so this is my bass. All right, if you notice, there's no markings on it. It's got some cobwebs on it, but there's no markings on it. I got this on bought this through a newspaper article, or maybe like it's a kind of like a, it's called a paper shop. That's what it is. So it's like a local marketplace like publication, and I got this. God, I've had this for probably 20 years now, maybe 15 to 20 years, and I just got it because it was a cool looking bass. And I was at a music store, probably. Hey, Yankees Outdoors on. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for coming by. I'm actually surprised I'm still on, actually. So it's been on almost an hour. Give it another 5 minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up. But yeah, so I was at a music store, and they had one almost exactly like this. The mustard yellow sunburst, the brass faceplate, it was identical, but it had ESP up on the headstock. So I took this down there and I showed them, and they think that this may be a prototype ESP bass. They weren't sure, and the only way they could really tell would be to take the neck off, and I really didn't want them to do it. It doesn't matter what it is. I wouldn't sell it anyway. This is like the last birthday present I got from my mother before she passed away. So this is never leaving my possession, this bass, so I don't care what it's worth or who made it. But yeah, this thing is a rock. So that's why I started playing was bass. But I also play guitar. I mess around with some percussion, nothing really. I'm not a drummer or anything like that, but I mess around with that little harmonica. I can play a little bit of piano. All right, what else did I miss here? Whoa, there's a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so Yankees Outdoors. So Beer Belly, you shoot only on your DSLR and external mic. Yeah, it's heavy. I would like to get like a mirrorless, something that's a little bit smaller. I could do like a smaller microphone on. That's down the road though. Might do it. Right now, I'm happy with the setup I got. I can't do any kind of like zooming or anything like that. But if I was shooting at the camera's full capability, it will do 4K. I could do digital zoom on that. Well, I don't know. Another thing that I got to look into. All right. I think it's only right if I played. You know what? I almost started with my acoustics. I wasn't sure if notifications went out, so I was just going to see it with my acoustic and play. I don't have anything set up, and I really have not played in years, except for a little messing around here and there. But maybe in one of these live streams I will. Yeah, thanks, Ray. This thing is awesome. I love this. Well, it's not a little bass, but yeah. That's pretty. Actually, when I was living in Florida, that's how I kind of got hooked up with those guys. It was a neighbor of mine, and their bass player had gotten into a car accident, and they were just kind of hanging out and playing. And they asked me if I wanted to stop by and fill in for the bass player. So I grabbed my bass and I was like, yeah, sure. And when I played, and then when he recuperated, I just kept playing with him, and I just took my guitar or bass or whatever they happen to have. Adam Z, what's a good central location for everyone to get together? I mean, like everyone that's in this chat? Wow. We're all over the place. Let's see. Hike with Mike. Florida band, it sounds like Dred Zeppelin. Actually, I have heard of Dred Zeppelin. They were a little more hippie than Dred Zeppelin, but it was cool. It was different. I've never really played reggae music until, and it wasn't really reggae. I'm not really a reggae player, but I kind of had to change the way I played, and it was kind of cool. It was a different experience. Okay. Rocket says I'm in the band. All right, I'll play bass. A set list, just let me know. I'll have to practice a lot, but Beer Belly says camera is always with me, so it just works for me. I have a Canon 7D Mark II. Well, that is a heavy camera. I've got a T3i, so it's nowhere near as heavy as the 7D. 18 to 135 millimeter. Wow. Yeah, my kit lens is a 18 to 55, and then I've got a 150 to 250, I think. I got a bunch of lenses. I try to get some like off-brand, not off-brand, but like non-Canon lenses. But love the camera; it's great. DragonsTrails says, Adam, I'm a crazy road tripper. Location really isn't a boundary. DragonsTrails, it looks like you road trip a lot more than I do, and you go crazy distances. My local area is what I consider local is huge to most people, and I have like I call it map brain, where I just can recall locations. But yeah, I can be up in like out in the Catskills or up to the border of Vermont. Like I would almost consider Bennington, Vermont local for me, which is like a 3 to 4 hour drive. Yeah, DragonsTrails, Adam Z, me, and there's another local guy too. We're all around that Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area. Adam uses a Sony Handycam. Not great, but it works. You know, it's just got to work. You use what you got. Actually, I don't think your videos aren't bad, man. I don't think the quality's bad on them at all. So it works. It works fine. Everybody's pretty close to you. Hiker G, where are you from? Yeah, everybody's close except for Rocket, but Rocket lives near the Whites. So I'll travel for that. The Gang, thanks for stopping by. I'm getting ready to wrap this up anyway, and I will be on your live stream at 9. Thanks for stopping by. Fit Chick says, everyone needs to come to the Whites. Rock and I will show you all a great time. I'm going to take you guys up on that at some point. I've just got to figure out when I can get up there. DB Cooper, I'm around you guys also. Hike with Adam Z all the time. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, Adam, I know you hammock camp. Dragon, I'm pretty sure you do, right? And DB, do you hammock camp? Should get together and do a hammock camp. But all right, so it is almost 5 after 8. Killing it on time. I usually try to keep these at like a half hour, but not this time. So I want to thank everybody for coming into the chat and watching the live stream this time. It was another great one. And I'm going to go grab something to eat and then get ready to go over and watch the Gang's live stream. So I suggest you all do the same thing if you have time to go watch it. Again, if you guys, if I mentioned you in the questions at the beginning of the video, you guys have links down at the bottom in the description for this video. I appreciate you guys being so interactive and asking questions, and we've got a great community of outdoors and travel videos and all that. All you guys are awesome. I appreciate every one of you. Not sure what my next thing is going to be. I'll probably be doing at least some hiking this weekend and maybe doing an overnight, testing out some gear that I just made. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll have something out. Until other than that, I'll be back next Thursday at 7 o'clock. Hopefully pull some more questions off of comments. And great. Okay, so yeah, Beer Belly's going to be on the Gang stream too. So awesome. So to the new guys who showed up, the new people showed up, thanks for stopping by. New subscribers, thanks for subscribing. If you just watched, thanks for watching. And I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. Just gotta get this thing to stop now.